Welcome to the 4th Annual White Coat Ceremony for the College of Nursing at SUNY Upstate Medical University. I'm Elvira Seghetti, the Dean of the College. I would like to recognize our students and those serving in the armed services for us, their friends, families, and our special guests. We have Dr. David Smith, President of Upstate Medical University, Mr. Gerhard Vogel, Senior Vice President, Key Bank, Ms. Barbara Kane, President of the Nursing Alumni Association, Ms. Gracia Rouland, President of the Student Association of the College of Nursing, Dr. Paul Grover, Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, and his wife Diana, Dr. Wanda Thompson, Associate Senior Vice President of Operations, Ms. Katie Mooney, Chief Nursing Officer of University Hospital, Dr. Julie White, Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Hugh Bonner, Dean of the College of Health Professions, Ms. Sharon Heward, Director of Student Support Services, Mr. Chuck Simpson, Director of Campus Activities, Ms. Donna Vavanese, Associate Director of Admissions, Ms. Amy Abernatha, Assistant Director of Admissions, Ms. Jennifer Martin-Teese, Registrar, Ms. Leah Caldwell, Assistant Director of University Communications, Ms. Lori Rydell, Director of Alumni Affairs. Please assist me in thanking our sponsors of the White Coat Ceremony. Key Bank, the President's Office of Upstate Medical University, SACON, the Student Association of the College of Nursing, and the Nursing Alumni Association. This ceremony would not be possible without their gracious support. I'd like to introduce Dr. David Smith, President of Upstate Medical University.
Well, good evening. Good evening. Well, we can do better. Good evening. Good evening. All right, it's a great time to celebrate. I'm David Smith, pediatrician and the president of Upstate Medical University, and I want to welcome all of you here and, of course, thank Dean Seghetti and her wonderful faculty for the great job of selecting this superb class. I'd actually like to start, though, with recognizing probably a moment of pride for all of us here at Upstate, and that is actually not our titles, but the fact that we belong to the faculty. And so what I'd like to ask at this time, would the faculty of the College of Nursing please rise so we can recognize you for the incredible job that you do for this college and, of course, for the entire region, the faculty. And I will tell you, I'm standing because I'm actually a member, adjunct member of this faculty. And I even teach a class or two every year, so that I'm particularly proud of being here today. A couple of things I'd like to say. First of all, for those that are matriculating the students here this year, you're going to have many supports. It's going to be an incredible learning opportunity. There is great need for your skill sets. As you advance your career in nursing, you assume new roles, expanded roles, and new leadership opportunities, including in the graduate areas of nursing. This college has done a superb job of defining and serving the needs of this region for countless decades. And you're going to follow a tremendous group of individuals who have preceded you. I actually, though, wanted to begin with a joke, and some of you have sort of heard this before, but I want to, most of you have not. This is a story of a mother and a daughter, actually two daughters. And for the first time in United States history, a woman is elected president of the United States. She calls her mother and says, "Mom, I would really like it for you to come to the inauguration." And the mother goes, "Oh, I've got so many things going on. It's very difficult for me to get there for that. You know, it's so far, and I really don't like to go on public airplanes anymore. Mom, not to worry. I'm going to send Air Force One. Please come." Oh, you know, it's really a dreadful time of the year in Washington for the inauguration. It's in the coldest part of the year. It's dreary. It's just miserable. And there's, I just don't want to sit outdoors. And, I really like to bagel. No, Mom, don't worry. I have the authority. I am going to have it indoors for the first time. All right, reluctantly, the mother says, I'm coming. So she arrives, sits up on the grand podium next to the vice president. Daughter gets up, ready to take the oath of office. Great moment, historic moment in this country. The mother, like every other mother, elbows the vice president and goes, her sister's a nurse. I think that's clearly what we all know and feel about this remarkable profession. There's more need than ever. Your skill sets are going to be required in new and diverse ways. This college will prepare you in the very finest way because of this superb faculty. And we want to welcome you to the ranks of the health professions. All of us recognize that each and every one of us has a unique need for your skills at some point in our own lives. And so there's something personal about this effort for each and every one of us here at Upstate. Our priorities relate to patients and, of course, our student mission. This is a university whose mission is driven on people first and patients first. And as a result, that is going to embrace much of what you learn here at Upstate Medical University. And, of course, follow those who have preceded you into incredible leadership ranks, including a number of our faculty here today. And, of course, provide the kind of sustaining care and hope that the tradition of nursing and this college have had for decades. So I want to congratulate you. I want to welcome you to Upstate Medical University. It is an exciting time for this university. We do indeed define our role, like our name, in a regional parameters. We provide care from the Canadian border well into Pennsylvania. We are the trauma system for 17 out of 62 counties. We are the burn center for 34 out of 62 counties in New York. We're actually the mental health system, including our relatively new program in family mental health for 38 counties in the state of New York. And of course, we're the Poison Control Center for 55 counties in the state of New York. We truly are Upstate. We're proud of what we are, and we wouldn't certainly be half of the accomplishments that we've seen to date without this incredible college, the leadership of the faculty, and Dean Zaghetti. So I welcome you, and of course, look forward to getting the opportunity to meet and work with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. I also see Dr. Cleary here. She's our VPAA, and I didn't want to slight her since she has taken the time to come and join us. Thank you, Dr. Smith. Mr. Gerhard Vogel, Senior Vice President of Key Bank, one of our generous sponsors, will now make his welcome.
Hello. Thank you all for allowing me the honor and the privilege of joining you here this evening, and more importantly, I think to be a participant in something far greater than the confines of the auditorium we're sitting in. My apologies for the stack of notes. White coat hypertension. I get a little nervous, so the notes seem to help, but I think I've finally found a real cure for that. Occasionally at the bank, not unlike other institutions, we're asked to engage in one of many executive training or coaching sessions, basically how to have better bedside manners. And anyway, in one of those recent sessions, we were asked to imagine our boss, your professors, teachers, or your mentors as a superhero. Okay, it's perfectly fine to laugh, but some of us actually do look good in tights and a cape. Just saying. The thing about superheroes is that they somehow are able to accomplish extraordinary things by seemingly ordinary means. And you ever notice that in real life, they're just regular people? What distinguishes them, though, is their unwavering sense of responsibility and stewardship to community, a willingness to engage in shared objectives, teamwork. They value the unique talents of others, respect. They deliver on what they promise, accountability. They're open and honest in everything they do, integrity. And they anticipate the need to act and inspire others to follow, leadership. Every one of you here tonight has taken up the challenges bestowed upon, often the unsung hero, to be active community servants. The most significant investment we at KeyBank can make, and I know you'll make as well, is to the communities we serve. We at KeyBank are proud to support tonight's event and to be an active participant in making Central New York and the broader communities beyond better places to call home. Oh, and as for my cure to white coat hypertension, maybe next year you'll be wearing capes. Just kidding. In closing, I'd like to share with you maybe a poem that some of you are familiar with, and it touched me in a very special way. It's by Fred Burke, and from the Nurses Are Angels segment, and it says, "If you must get sick, a nurse is the nicest thing that can happen to you. Nurses come in all sizes, shapes, colors, and ages. Efficiently cheerful, they will rustle past you many times a day. When Hercules cleaned the Augean stables, he set a standard which the nurse surpasses each and every day. Buoyed by an immense sympathy for mankind and undismayed by experiences with particular members of that at times cantankerous race, myself included, they perform miracles of devotion with effortless cheer. When you rub your Aladdin's lamp or you sound that buzzer, if you ever happen to be in the hospital, your little genie appears. Perhaps they've been summoned needlessly a dozen times already. But they are cheerfully ready to soothe you, to help you down your medicine, to smooth down your bed, and to answer your fears. The nurse is the doctor's guard against forgetfulness, his questioning conscience, at times his challenge, and at all times his skilled right arm. Their charming cap, used to be anyway, perches undisturbed through the roughest day. They have no self for themselves. Their all is for their patients. If they are short with one patient, it's because they're pressing to return to the one whose need is greater. The big show, life itself, must go on. This is the nurse's creed, their battle, their drive. They will fight to the end with every trick, every knowledge, and every passion. At the end of the day, the nurse returns home physically weary, but with their inner light glowing brightly, for they have richly earned the peace within themselves. If you must get sick, you are mighty lucky to have a nurse happen to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Now, Ms. Barbara Kane, President of the Nursing Alumni Association, will welcome you.
Good evening. I have a few notes. As my daughter just got married this past weekend, and I had a little rush on preparing a few notes. I am a nurse, and I graduated from this program. I graduated from the master's program in 1999 with a clinical nurse specialist, family nurse practitioner, and with great pride, I can look around this room and see my mentors. I have to say my journey began here. And quite frankly, I wasn't quite sure what I was in for. But these instructors became my friends. They were something that I aspired to. While I was going to school here, I was working at St. Joe's in the medical intensive care unit. I was working there full-time and going here 9 to 12 credits per semester. And I had 2 daughters in high school that went to every field party every weekend. I don't remember a lot about those days, but I know that this alumni, these teachers, pulled me through. So being president of the Alumni Association is my way of giving back. I look around this room and I want to hug every single one of you for the dedication, the perseverance, and I want to congratulate you on your success from the past and the present and what you are going to accomplish in the future. Some of the things that the Alumni Association does, we support the students and the faculty of the College of Nursing. We award numerous scholarships to the College of Nursing students. I'm one of the committee members. And that is one of the most rewarding things that I do during the year because I was a recipient of a scholarship. We provide equipment and other resources for the Nursing Alumni Clinical Skills Laboratory. And we give financial support to our student organization, SACON. We also host alumni events and activities. And this past March, we celebrated our 50th anniversary, which was an incredible event. Over the next few years, as you go on your journey, if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact any of the board members, myself, the faculty. We are here to make your journey lighter. And once you have completed your education and had the time to take a deep breath, because many of you work, go to school, have families, volunteer for other organizations. Once you sit back, have a glass of wine, and relax, I would like you to consider serving on the board. It's a great way of giving back and extremely rewarding. And I want to give you all a great round of applause, and I wish you much success.
Thank you, Ms. Kane. Ms. Gracia Rouland, President of the Student Association of the College of Nursing, is here to share some thoughts with her new fellow students and our guests.
Hi. Good evening, students, faculty, administration. It's an honor to stand before all of you today because it was only 1 year ago that I too was receiving the white coat sitting in the very seats that you're sitting in tonight. I still remember the pride in my heart and my overriding thought as I waited to have my name called. This thought made my heart beat faster and caused me to walk with my head held high. I thought to myself, oh God, please don't let me trip in front of all these people. And that thought was followed closely by another, and Lord, please don't let my hands be too wet and clammy when I shake the dean's hand. But as I nervously awaited my turn to walk across the front and receive my white coat, those and many other thoughts ran through my head, but not many had anything to do with being involved in any student activities or organizations. However, as I've continued into the NP program here at Upstate, I began to realize that there are a lot of areas that would be great to be involved in. Many nurses in our history have advocated for involvement. Great women like Florence Nightingale and Clara Barton. And one nurse, who perhaps is not as well known as Florence and Clara, also lived her life involving herself in the problems of others. But this came about through some painful problems that she herself endured. Mary Breckenridge lived in the late 1800s, passing away in 1965. And at the age of 23, she married a man whom she considered to be her soulmate. Imagine her pain when 2 years later he died suddenly of appendicitis. 6 long, soul-searching years later, she found it in her heart to marry again. Shortly thereafter, she gave birth to a beautiful little boy. He brought her much joy. Then 2 years later, she gave birth to a little girl. Unfortunately, this baby was born prematurely and only lived 6 hours. Another 2 years later, after that tragedy, her precious little boy died suddenly as well. Mary's heart was broken. And only adding to her pain, she learned that while she was grieving, her husband was being unfaithful with another woman. So in a time when divorce was unheard of, this lady made the decision to divorce her husband, change her name back to her maiden name, and devote her life to serving the underserved. Mary Breckenridge went out in search of people who had problems, people who were overlooked by most. She headed out to the remote Appalachian region of Kentucky, looking to care for the country's poorest children, and she founded the Frontier School of Nursing. This college is still in existence today and is well known for its School of Midwifery as well as other programs. Mary's story reminds me of an analogy I once heard about people. It was at one of my many graduations that I've gone to. I remember the speaker sharing a story about 3 different types of people: those who create messes, those who ignore the messes around them, and those who take the time to clean up other people's messes. The first group of people who make messes that others have to clean up live in a self-absorbed world, pretty much unconcerned about those around them. Now, the second group of people might think that they're a little better than that first group because they always clean up their own problems, their own messes. They might think to themselves, hey, I didn't make that mess, I shouldn't have to clean it up. Or perhaps they think I'm far too busy to be bothered cleaning up problems I didn't create. But in this way, they too are living self-absorbed lives. The third group of people notice problems and they take the time to clean things up. These people, in their own small way, help to make the world around them just a little better with their presence. But I would like to add a fourth group to the analogy. This group of people goes out searching to make things better. Their hope is that through their efforts, they can leave a lasting, good influence on a world that is too quickly decaying and being corrupted. As students, we owe it to those who come after us to leave our college a little better than when we first came. And this is possible through groups like SACON and other worthwhile groups here at Upstate, like Barb had mentioned, the Alumni Association. For those of you who are unaware, SACON is the Student Association of the College of Nursing, and it's a group to which each and every one of you are members, being students of the college, and your tuition helps to fund it. With SACON, we have the unique opportunity to help enact positive change. Please take a moment to listen to what a couple of our bylaws state the purpose of SACON is: to secure the interests and welfare of all students in the College of Nursing, to enhance communication and unification between and among undergraduate and graduate students within the College of Nursing, to provide an organized mechanism which encourages, facilitates, and guarantees active participation in interdisciplinary activities on the campus, and finally, to provide a milieu for expression of student opinions. This is very important regarding programs, educational environment, professional concerns, and other issues at the college. So for many of you here tonight, you have already taken some classes here at the college, and perhaps you have opinions, concerns, thoughts about these classes, how they can be better, or how much you've enjoyed them. Among other things, SACON provides a venue for you to share your thoughts and help enact positive change for our school. For those of you who have never attended a class here, we welcome you. And I join all the officers and members of SACON in inviting each student present here tonight to join us in helping make our college even better than it already is. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rouland. Let's give a round of applause for all our sponsors. And I would like the faculty to stand again because they are the core of the college. So would you please stand? Thank you. All newly admitted students in the College of Nursing, including those who were admitted in January and those students in the RN to MS program who will become master's students in January 2012, were invited to participate in this year's ceremony. The College of Nursing admits students in the RN to BS program, the RN to MS program, the master's program, and the postmaster's and certificate programs. The undergraduate students who are just starting out will receive a satchel. Graduate, postmasters, and certificate students will be coded, as well as those RN to MS students who will become graduate students in January. Undergraduate students, here are your instructions. We will begin with the undergraduate students, which are comprised of the bachelor's and RN to MS students who were admitted in the spring or fall of this year. The program director and the undergraduate students will be called by Dr. Grover and will line up behind the director on the stairs to their right, bringing the index card with their name printed on it. After the director moves to the center stage next to the dignitaries, students will enter the stage individually from the right, pausing to hand their name card to Dr. Grover, our voice of Upstate. When the students' names are read, they will proceed to center stage, stop to shake hands with the program director and dignitaries, pause for a picture, and exit the opposite side of the stage from where they entered. I would ask that the students please walk around the back of the audience on their way back to their seats. It's my pleasure to invite President Smith, Mr. Vogel, Ms. Kane, to the center of the stage to greet the students. Now I would like to introduce Dr. Paul Grover, Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, who has graciously agreed to announce each student by name before he or she proceeds to the stage. Dr. Grover.
Thank you, Dean Seghetti. It's been my privilege to have been at Upstate for now 36 years. And I would like to say from that perspective of history, ancient history to many of you, that you are fortunate to be here. Never has this institution been more interesting, more exciting, stronger, more academically, physically, financially than it is right now. And your dean, Elvira Seghetti, is part of the reason that this institution is as strong as it is. Okay, then, that said, I would like to ask Ms. Deborah Kirsch, Clinical Assistant Professor and Director of Undergraduate Studies, to please approach the stage, followed by the bachelor's and RN to MS students. Please, would you please come down and join Dr. Kirsch? First student, Eric Santel, the RN MS program. The next student in the BS program, Dawn DeMarzo. Melissa Pearsall, RN MS program. Cynthia Service, BS program. Janelle Vargulik. Teresa Koulouris. Caroline Barrios. Ronice Benjamin. Keena Holtz, BS program. Elizabeth Killenbeck, RN/MS program. Please give the undergraduate students a round of applause.
The purpose of the white coat ceremony is to recognize students who are entering the profession or who are changing their direction within the profession. In this case, we are welcoming nurses who are studying for an advanced degree or certificate in nursing. When they put on the white coat, they are telling others that they are a professional who is giving care to them in a different manner than before. We welcome and congratulate you. Dr. Carol Gavin, Associate Dean and Director of the Graduate Nursing Program, will welcome the graduate students. Ms. Carol Ann Kozak will coat the students preparing to be clinical nurse specialists. Ms. Jody Coppola and Dr. Margie Wade will coat the students preparing to be family nurse practitioners. Dr. Jana Subject will coat the students preparing to be family psychiatric mental health nurse practitioners. Ms. Joyce Scarpinato will coat students preparing to be pediatric nurse practitioners. And Ms. Barbara Black will coat postmasters and registered nurse first assist students. Graduate students, here are your instructions. Each program and track will be called separately. The faculty member and the respective students will line up behind the faculty member on the stairs to their right, bringing the index card with their name and program printed on it. After the program director or faculty member moves to center stage, students will enter the stage individually from the right, pausing to hand their name card to Dr. Grover. When the students' names are read, they will proceed to center stage, stop to shake hands with the program director and dignitaries, pause for a picture, and exit the opposite side of the stage from which they entered. I would ask that the students please walk around the back of the audience on their way back to their seats. President Smith, Mr. Vogel, Ms. Kane, please join me in welcoming the graduate students, and I will turn the podium over to Dr. Grover.
Thank you. Would Dr. Carol Gavin, Associate Dean and Director of the Graduate Nursing Program, please join us on stage to welcome the graduate students? Thank you, Carol. Would Ms. Carol Ann Kozak, Clinical Assistant Professor, please approach the stage, followed by the Clinical Nurse Specialist students. Ms. Kozak will join the others on stage and perform the coding of the CNS students. Sharon Newton, CNS. Barbara Chase, CNS. Meredith Lang, CNS. Would Ms. Judy Coppola and Dr. Margie Wade, clinical assistant professors, please approach the stage, followed by the family nurse practitioner students. Ms. Coppola and Dr. Wade will join the others on stage and perform the coding of the FNP students. Our first student in this group, Samantha Shue. Amy Diederich. Kristen Hurlbut. Michael Sharino. Lindsay Petrie. Brandon Crandall. Stacy Hooker. Maura Butash. Pramila Adhikari. Okay. Okay. Carrie Winkleblack Schmidt. Elise Kelsch. April Pixler. Shelley Franz. Shaquila Giles. Lacey Morgan. Mandeep Sani. Evelyn King. Chitty Boston. Denise Sellers. Rosa Padro. Rebecca Renzi. Chelsea Ingracia. Robert Beaumont. Angie Brown. Kai Lahardy. Philip Seco. Dominique Guadalupe. Abby Cummings. Patricia Stewart. Tracy Rawl. Aaron Young. Deborah Bedford. Jennifer Rivas. Sandra Hales. Ala Granitor. Lena Stupp. Maureen Kitt. Would Dr. Jana Sobchak, Associate Professor, please approach the stage, followed by the family, psychiatric, mental health, nurse practitioner students. Dr. Sobczak will join the others on stage and perform the coding of the family psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner students. William Smith. Francis Moscone. Karen Martin. Lisa Grannon. Michelle Rossum. Mary Ellen Zangrilli. Tracy Cranston. Erica DeMarche. Samantha Gaetano. Catherine DiGirolamo. Marissa Mazzella. Christine Kirkman. Everyone, please, let's give the graduate students a round of applause. I would now like to ask Ms. Barbara Black, Clinical Associate Professor, Director of Continuing Nursing Education, to please approach the stage, followed by the postmasters and registered nurse first assist students. Maria Syke. Jackie Reams. Let's give the postmasters and registered nurse first assistant a round of applause. Ms. Black, Dr. Smith, Ms. Kane, and Mr. Vogel, you may please return to your seats. And Dr. Seghetti, I'm yielding the chair to you.
I would like to personally congratulate all the students who have joined us this year. This is a time of great celebration. You're taking the next steps in your professional career. You can and will go far. I'm proud of each of you for following your dream. Study hard, learn well. You just might be taking care of us one day. I would now request that the students remain in the auditorium for a few minutes to take group pictures. The guests may proceed to the cafe straight down the hall for a buffet dinner. We will begin the group pictures with bachelor's and RN to MS students who did not receive a coat. Second will be all master's students and RN to MS students who received white coats. Last will be postmasters and RN FA students. Thank you.